So I'm Dr. Udupi Adam Tanvir Alam. I'm Deputy Medical Director for the Northeast Essex Integrated Care Board and Training Program Director for Advancing Equity and Differential Attainment for Norfolk and Waveney. My story is that of an immigrant, a typical immigrant that comes here with the promise of a better tomorrow, looking for foreign qualifications, getting a decent job, and then raising a family, like everybody else, in the system. But along the way, life takes you in different journeys, and especially with discrimination and profiling. So that has been a prevalent theme in the first half of my journey, is overcoming that in this country. And that was quite a difficult time for me in hospital-based medicine. And then I left hospital-based medicine to come into general practice, where I again suffered discrimination during general practice training. And then, of course, difficulties with my examinations. But I became a champion for those exams because I supported doctors after that from 2012, since I qualified. And now it's my 13th year running, supporting doctors in distress in this way. So that has become sort of my identity. And along the way, whatever opportunities have come where people have not wanted to do something, and they said these are projects which cannot be taken, I have taken those projects on and I have made them my own. And somehow, against the odds, they've all ended up becoming successful. So I think the story is a story of perseverance, of taking your most spectacular failures and then making them your biggest successes. I think that's the overriding theme of my journey so far. I never thought I would be a deputy medical director of an integrated care board or a training program director. I never aspired for that when I first came here. I just wanted to practice orthopedics really. But life takes its own journey, and the path is decided for you. But now I find myself as a champion for so many different things which I'm passionate about, especially differential attainment, which is the gap between local and international medical graduates, and physical health of SMI patients, which is still a problem, and health inequalities. So these are all things which are dear to my heart, and now I have the privilege of being able to make a small difference and a change to that. So I've obviously been profiled as a Muslim man, a brown man with a beard, as a terrorist, as a towel head, somebody who can't speak the language despite having an excellent grasp of English. So I've always had to overcome these barriers because of fixed perceptions of people. So changing the perceptions of people and welcoming them into that space, and making them understand that we are not like that has been the biggest challenge. Because I think it starts off with the consultant telling me to go back on the boat on which I came, which itself is a reference to the banana boat of the slaves, which is a historical thing and which should never be said. Today, you won't be able to hear that statement. But in 2005 or 2006, it was okay to say it. So I think the narrative has shifted, but those challenges were there. And they still exist in society at a deeper level, because we still find society, other day a patient asked me, when are you going back? I said, what do you mean by that? I've been here for 20 years. So that shows that as societal problems remain. So there are systemic problems with NHS, which has got systemic racism. It profiles you very early on. And there are problems in society as well. So I think those are challenges that people of color, of a particular ethnicity or religion or gender or neurodisability, they face on a daily basis. So I started out as an out-of-hours GP because there was flexibility in the day job and the pay was good. So it was fine for me. I was just interested in that when I first qualified. I was so exhausted from the exams and all of that. I couldn't be bothered to get into a daytime surgery. But people said, oh, he is incompetent. That's why he's doing this job. I became a clinical consultant for that. So that was an example of showcasing excellence. From there came the opportunity for a surgery which requires improvement, which nobody wanted in Clacton. And then we made that outstanding. So I think these are all the things which nobody wanted. The mental health role which I did as a GP, I was the innovator in that role. and people mocked me for it. What are you doing in a psychiatric hospital? But that work which I did there led to the highly commended award from the RCGP, highlighting the need for this intervention. So all of the things I've done, including exam support for registrars, people have always told me, "Why are you doing this? This is a waste of time." But over time, it has been proven that it has not been a waste of time. That it was absolutely essential, and I had the better sense and the vision to see these things of what they represent, whereas others around me could not. So I think perception is very important. If you are perceptive about something and you believe in something, you should try your best to make it work. You may fail, you may succeed, but you must put the effort in. I think all of these organizations, like I mentioned, they are a shield, because we need a shield. We don't have a shield around us. We don't have people who can be the voice for us. Most of us are voiceless because we don't have the skills or the tools or the resources to be able to defend ourselves or when we are in situations of distress. So that's where these organizations are essential and vital for our continued sustainability in NHS. Because NHS, 76 years now, very poor track record. It's a systemically racist organization. It has accepted it. So these organizations are a barrier to that. They facilitate conversations, they can bridge the gap, level the field, they can bring the management and corporate structures, they can hold them accountable because of their numbers and their strength in unity. So I think these are phenomenal organizations and we must be involved in them so that we can have productive dialogue with the NHS. Because the top brass might want change, but the middle management don't. And that is where the problem is. We have too many people in middle management who are just sitting on the fence, who are not bothered about the difficulties of the doctors. If they looked after the doctors, the patients would be better. So we have a lot of compassion for our patients, but we have very little compassion for our healthcare professionals, for our doctors, our nurses, our allied healthcare professionals who are being victimized, bullied, and harassed on a daily basis. 97% of the workforce in the last NHS staff survey reported an incident of discrimination or harassment or bullying in the last year. That is not a good statistic for the largest employer in the country. The NHS is the largest employer in the country. That is a very damning statistic for that.